Drivers, I know you have heard the message, us talking about how since 1999, Loves has been a proud partner of the Children's Miracle Network hospitals, raising more than $40 million so far since the beginning of the partnership. Love's team members and customers have come together in an annual 5-week point-of-sale campaign, engaging special events, have also been a favorite of team members as they get creative to support the local children's hospital. So important to get this message out. And we have someone on today that is going to help us spread this awareness and also give us an example as to the importance of the Children's Miracle Network and these hospitals, these workers, the technology, the equipment, and what it goes to. So for all of those team members out there and also drivers and customers at Love's Travel Stops, thank you for those that have given. And for those who want to give, listen up, because we're going to tell you how you can do that here in just a moment as we bring on Ava Paige. She spent 47 days in her local children's hospital after being diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. It's a type of cancer where the bone marrow makes too many white blood cells. Now, though she had some setbacks early in her treatment, Ava is now singing from the rooftops, and I mean that literally. I was so excited watching a video of her just last night. She's a talented singer-songwriter. She has some really awesome boots, a really awesome jacket, a really awesome guitar, a really awesome voice, and a really awesome story to share and help us share this awareness and make people aware of this effort to fund the Children's Miracle Network hospitals right now. She joins us right now. Ava Paige, how are you? Welcome.
I'm doing absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, thank you for being here. Tell us your story. You spent 47 days in your local children's hospital after being diagnosed with leukemia. Tell us that story. Share it from the beginning.
Absolutely. So, first off, hi, everyone. My name is Ava Paige. I'm a 18-year-old singer-songwriter. I just turned 18 a couple weeks ago, so it's still kind of funny to say that. But I started music when I was 10 years old and absolutely fell in love with everything, performing and songwriting. And I actually grew up in Nashville, so it was just a matter of time before somebody in my family decided to pursue music. And lo and behold, that was me. But I really, really loved it. And, by the end of 2018, beginning of 2019, first off, when I was 10, I decided to make it a career. And end of 2018, beginning of 2019, I was doing around 150 plus shows a year. I was traveling all over the U.S. performing, writing, twice a day, 5 days a week, getting some industry looks, and things were looking really good. Yeah. And then July 1st, 2019, my life changed forever when I was diagnosed with leukemia. It was a very sudden diagnosis, how a lot of cancer diagnoses are, but especially leukemia kind of sneaks up on you. But I was actually doing a small tour in Texas, and my mom is a retired nurse, and she could tell something wasn't quite right. So we came back home and immediately went to my pediatrician, and my pediatrician ran my blood counts, and they were just not right at all. I had no red blood cells in my body, no white blood cells, so I had no energy. I could barely dress myself that morning. Wow. And so she didn't really know what it was, the pediatrician, but she said leukemia is probably the most probable option, so you need to go to Vanderbilt Children's, which is my local Children's Miracle Network hospital. And so we went over, and they ran my blood counts again, and then 6 doctors walked in, closed the door, and said that I had cancer. And it was very, 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 unexpected, because nobody's ready to hear those words, you have cancer, and especially I was 14 at the time, almost 15, and I was busy. I was constantly, performing and writing and traveling, and, I was trying to make it in this crazy thing they call the music industry, and then I was told that, all those shows I would have to cancel, and all those rights I would have to cancel, and I'd have to stay in the hospital. And they said my treatment plan was going to be around 3 years long, and that first initial phase, I would have to be in a hospital for an extended period of time, and that ended up being those 47 days.
Yeah. Wow.
It was very And it was very crazy, just because, I'm my personality. I constantly have to go. And I had to cancel over 70 events in July alone when I got diagnosed.
Yeah.
It was really crazy. But all that to say, I had an incredible support team around me with my incredible family, my musical family, my doctors. And they're the reason why I still get to do what I love. And even though I spent that month and a half straight in the hospital, I only got to go home for, I think, 2 days, and I had to go immediately right back. I cannot praise that hospital enough, because no kid wants to be in there, especially a kid who's getting toxins pumped through their veins. But every single nurse, every single doctor, every single person in that building is so kind, so considerate, so just pediatrics must be a calling, because those guys deal with stuff that I could not. But I really appreciate them, and they're incredible, I guess, for lack of better words, hospitality. But they're incredible people over there.
Yeah, it is amazing, and I just love your spirit. I watched the video that you shared with us last night. You have an amazing talent as a singer-songwriter, and I want to see you reach the very top of the world. And all of that was as you were going through it. At what point were you aware that this was the Children's Miracle Network Hospital, and that it was in part donations really that were helping to bring this critical life-saving treatment to you and to help you overcome this cancer? Do you remember that moment of learning, essentially what this Children's Miracle Network and the hospitals were all about?
Absolutely. When I was inpatient, I I kind of built a reputation around the floor of being a singer, just because I had, again, an incredible support team around me, always keeping me positive, always keeping me, looking ahead. And so I would have a constant revolving door of musicians coming in. And so I may or may have not built up kind of a reputation of, having musicians in and me being a musician myself. But after a while, I believe it was Karen, my Vanderbilt CMN rep.
Yeah.
She came in and introduced herself and told me what CMN was about, how it has affected Vanderbilt, how it affected me personally.
Yeah.
Because I was going through treatment and I didn't even know all the things that CMN was doing to help me. And so she told me about what CMN was about and asked me if I wanted to be a spokesperson for them. And I jumped on the opportunity. They actually had an event that December called Cheers for Children that benefits Mineral Curl Junior Children's Hospital. And I did it and absolutely fell in love with everything that they're doing. I mean, their message, their just, the fact that 100% of it goes back to your local CMN hospital. It's just absolutely incredible. And I mean, there are so many kids who get diagnosed with a terminal illness or, with anything a day. I mean, I think the last statistic was 67, get diagnosed with like a terminal illness a day. And those CMN hospitals, they're the ones that treat them, and they're the ones that provide them with life-saving treatment. They're the ones that, try to make the best out of such a bad situation. And it's because of donations, because of amazing people who decide to give, and that these hospitals are running, and, they're able to provide treatment for these kids. And it was an absolutely incredible eye-opener to see how much they're doing. And honestly, they don't get the recognition they deserve.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely incredible to hear that.
Yeah, it is. And Love's Travel Stops, they have a heart as a part of their logo. And, it's amazing when you think of the fact that through their customers and their teams, they have pulled together so far $40 million for Children's Miracle Network hospitals. What does that mean? What does that mean to you when you hear of an effort like that from Love's Travel Stops and other organizations that are raising money for CMN hospitals? What does that mean to you personally?
When I think of the kindness that people give, and when I think of all like organizations like Love's that help donate, I think of hope. I think of kindness. I think of a step forward, because it's because of amazing donations like that, and it's because of y'all helping raise over $40 million that these hospitals are able to get state-of-the-art equipment and to make kids' lives just a little bit better. Because, as I said earlier, no kid wants to go to the hospital. I mean, typically it's sad, but, hospitals typically aren't for good things.
Yeah.
They're, treated for a car accident, or they're treated for an illness, or they're treated for these things that are kind of wrong. But it's because of amazing donations and amazing partners like Loves that we are able to provide those hospitals with state-of-the-art equipment, again, to make the bad situations a little bit better, a little bit more enjoyable, so that kid doesn't walk away, just sad and just defeated. They can see these bright, beautiful colors in this hospital and, make vein stickings a little bit easier, or, provide child life specialists that make a kid's experience a little bit better. I know child life specialists are a huge part of what Children's Miracle Network does. I, even as a teenager in the hospital, got affected by them. I know I tell a story sometimes. I had to have a PICC line in my arm when I was going through treatment because I had some complications, and they needed another access point. So, but I could not be put under sedation for my PICC line because of some fluid retention on my lungs that would have been very dangerous. And I had to be awake for the whole entire procedure.
Wow.
And sadly enough, my parents were not allowed in the room. And it, of course, gave me a lot of anxiety because I was, getting a catheter stuck up my arm. And I had to be awake for the whole thing. And so, but the parents were not allowed in the room just in case something happened or they needed just a sterile field. And so my child life specialist, Katie, she came in, and for the whole entire 2-hour-long surgery, she held my hand and just let me know that I wasn't alone and let me know that I was going to be okay. And just think that if CMN did not have the funding to be able to provide that, then I would have just been sitting there, scared out of my mind. But it's because of amazing donations that I was able to have a child life specialist there and have somebody to comfort me when I needed it.
Yeah. Wow. That is so amazing. I know as a parent and a grandparent, I think of that and how comforting that must have been to you and also to your family at that time. For those who give, it is the fundraising dollars, and right now at Love's Travel Stops, all of our drivers and travelers, anybody that passes by a Love's, go on in and you can give. In fact, right now, the balloon campaign's going on. Go on in, buy a balloon. I've done that before. And it is really, really great. Give what you can when you can. And for those people that give money from somebody who has benefited directly from this great effort here, Ava, the fundraising dollars that go to the research and the programs and the other resources for kids and their families, what would you say to those people who give the money?
I know it sounds cliche, but just thank you. Thank you for, giving us kids hope. Thank you for providing the hospitals the funds they need. Thank you for helping change kids' health to change the future. I know that's our motto, but it's truly, it's what y'all are doing. And it's making, again, a bad situation just a little bit better and helping kids not have to go through these challenging situations, making them just a little bit better. And it means so much. I know it means a lot to me, and I can speak on behalf of millions and millions of kids who get treated by a CMN hospital. Thank you for making our lives a little bit better, and thank you for changing kids' health to change the future. Yeah,
it's just a terrific effort. It really is. And the cause. I will tell you that I have a great nephew who was in an accident and benefited greatly from being in a CMN hospital. And his father, my nephew, could not say enough great things about that experience. And it was such a critical moment for our family. But as a father, my nephew was so nervous about, of course, the critical timing and, of course, being in the right hospital and making sure that his son at that time was going to get the right care. And it turned out so well. And still today, years later, they talk about it. That experience was just over the top great and everything that you would want if something like this is going to happen. And when we talk about this, a lot of truck drivers out there that might be listening, Ava, this week is National Truck Driver Appreciation Week. You might know that. And, of course, they work very hard to keep delivering all the stuff that we need, including things in hospitals. My dad actually was a truck driver after his military career and delivered pharmaceuticals, and at times he would deliver to hospitals. And so there are so many great things, of course, and ways that we benefit from the truckers out there. Anything special that you would like to say to America's truck drivers out there?
Yes, thank you. Y'all seriously do not get enough appreciation, and we would not be able to have what we have unless y'all make the trucking miles across the country. So thank you so much for everything that you do, and know that we really, really appreciate you. And I am sorry for all the traffic. So I cannot have your patience. So I really, I applaud you for that. But thank you for everything that you do and for making those miles to make our lives a little better.
Just awesome. And, we do know, and I mentioned it, but professional drivers and travelers, they can, in fact, be a part of this through the end of the month at Love's Travel Stops. Fill us in, give us a reminder as to what they can do, Ava.
Yes, you can go to your local Love's, and there will be a change bucket, and also you can buy a balloon to help donate to your local CMN hospital. So wherever your Love's is, your nearest CMN hospital is the one that you'll be directly benefiting. So make sure to go stop in, get yourself a treat, and use the amazing bathrooms that they have, and buy yourself a balloon, and make sure to donate your extra change.
Yeah, and again, I think for a lot of truck drivers who have been at Love's and stopped in at a Love's Travel Stops over the years, and travelers, if you're out there, whether you're a business traveler or you're doing it for leisure, you've seen that logo, and now maybe that heart will have a new meaning. That heart in the logo there at Love's, it does for me, and I am so proud to help get the message out about raising money for the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Wow, $40 million so far through Love's Travel Stops. And thank you to the customers who have given and the team members who have helped make it happen and pull this all together for people like Ava Paige. Ava, I'm so excited about your music. What can you tell us, and where can people learn more about your music? Do you have a website or social media page they can go to?
Absolutely. You can find me on all social media at Ava Paige Music, AvaPaige Music. I also have a website, avapaigemusic.com, and I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that sort of stuff. I also have music on all streaming platforms. I actually just released a new single a couple weeks ago called If I Were You, so you can go stream it on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music. But again, all my social media handles are Ava Paige Music.
Awesome. AvaPaige, Ava Paige. I am certain we're going to hear that name more often in the future, and I'm looking forward to it. You have such a great talent, such a great spirit, and I know such a great and genuine appreciation for the CMN hospitals out there, including the one that where your treatment was so critical for that 47 days and beyond. Just an amazing story, Ava. Thank you so much for sharing it. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me on, and thank you, everyone, for donating and, again, helping change kids' health, change